of night and day, and those in the night are immortal, and those in the day are not. It is said that they were still practicing the teachings of the realmic Realsh, the deity of duality. Having found that to be false, the group, the group did what they do best and fucked up those plans. And in the process learned that the threat that they are currently facing is the Realmics, the deities that were once worshipped on Anda that are not very good, are making a comeback. And if they arrive, it spells the end of the world, because that's how D&D goes. So with that knowledge under their belt, the group took a rest before speaking on what they were going to do going forward. They knew that there are at least 2 more temples they have to visit, the one of Gaeonthur and of Crove. And the one of Gaeonthur is known to be somewhere in Anda. Crove is unknown. And then, they rested before getting to speak about what they wanted to do, woke up, had a Halloween episode. It might have been all a dream. We don't know.
We got those candy corn,
yeah,
though.
You got candy corn. And upon waking, Laffy stepped outside to let Saint do his business and saw what appeared to be a streaking orange star going through the sky, and she knew that Jacques was coming to visit at some point. Anyway, we're going to pick up there, where Laffy, you just saw the orange star streak through the sky. Saint's done his business and just kind of looking at you expectantly. The rest of you guys inside are, I believe, all groggily just existing currently, trying to process and not process what happened. Because it was just stupid.
Yeah.
Did we rest?
Yeah, you guys had your long rest, and then, you're fully rested.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mist doesn't look groggy. Mist looks very thoughtful. And she's kind of watching to see when Laffy comes back in. She's got that look on her face like she's got something to say.
Laffy is standing at the door like, come here, come on, let's...
He just
Get in
pads
potty.
on in and hops into the house.
He closes the door and trundles on over. Guys, that was weird.
It was weird.
It certainly was.
What was weird? And then
Right,
it's like...
not talking about.
yeah.
You know what? Yeah. Alright. Laffy takes a seat.
Yeah. Mist kind of looks at everyone and is just like, we are going back to Undar, right? That's what we're doing next, I'm guessing.
Is it?
I
That's
thought
where we're
it
going
was.
next, right?
I guess.
Okay, well, there's something that I want to do. Mist kind of like... She almost looks sort of nervous, but also kind of serious in a way. And she particularly looks at Laffy for a moment before she starts speaking again. It's like, I want to realign that which waits.
So, like the things that Ren said?
Sort of. Not quite. I think if we do that, it might help us do what Ren said. Forces are somewhat different than entities. But for all we know, that which waits has been doing what it did before, and I don't want to let it have any chance at repeating what happened with Fridiel ever again.
Yeah, fair point.
Might I ask what
happened?
Miss kind of looks at Laffy.
Well, so where do we start? So I lived in a swamp, and underneath the swamp was some ruin. And there was this thing in the ruins, and my former master found it, and I think it took him over, and then he tried to make a portal that let in demons and take over the world, and then he turned into a giant dragon skeleton and tried to destroy the plane. It was... I don't...
He was influenced by some strange force that wanted it to feed all the souls in Andar to it.
Hold on.
Oh.
Internet. Laffy.
Oh god,
Yes.
were you still talking yet?
I don't know where I stopped talking.
Turned into a dragon skeleton thing.
Yeah.
And then Miss started talking because I couldn't hear you anymore.
Oh, well, go ahead. Keep talking.
Oh. Okay. Where did I stop? Shit. Well, yeah, he's like, so... Yeah, this force entity manipulated her mentor, her master, into trying to feed all the souls in Andar to it so it could apparently materialize and come here. That didn't happen, obviously.
Thanks to us.
Yes, we stopped that, as well as closed the portal where all the demons were coming through. But he was working with my body's family in order to do this. And it turns out that which waits, as you heard, is the outsider. And that is part of me, which is awful. But basically, everything almost was destroyed. And I really don't want that to happen again. That's basically what happened.
I think I'm going to need a bigger statue when all this is done.
Nadia just looks at Luffy and then all of them, and I'm sorry that's happened, but thanks to you everything was alright, and we'll get through it again.
Yeah, the thing was, we just left that which waits alone. It's still there. And
Yeah, and there's no need to apologize, but, like, we never got credit for it. And so now we go places and everyone's like, oh, who are these assholes? But, like, we saved the world. Anyway.
Nadia feels a little bad.
You think that would constitute at least like a discount on food or something?
I mean, Ren got some recognition.
Hey.
Not
Ren
necessarily.
says absolutely nothing.
yeah. It's like, but basically, I want to realign that which waits versus a force to be more like the unknown. As both seem to be holes that wish to be filled. That which waits seems to want to destroy everything, manipulate people into doing what it wants, and then just eat them. And then wait forever so it can manipulate someone else into doing it. Well, the unknown thrives off of freedom and growth and change becoming, and the possibility that would otherwise be devoured by this thing. If we can realign it, wouldn't really change its nature per se, but it would make it so it stands for things that would benefit everyone and would.
Ren just kind of speaks up here, and she's watching this and she's listening, but her arms are kind of crossed, and she's like, "But didn't the Sia say that you are the unknown?"
No, not really. It said that I am. Apparently, to my understanding, when I was created, I had the force of the unknown with me. She differentiated concept and force. I do not, but the force of the unknown to her discerning, I imagine, would be, what I can do. When I speak riddles and things happen. That sort of thing. The unknown has been here forever. And the unknown dictates, apparently, the Realmics themselves. They made this place, according to her, because they wanted to see what would happen. They didn't know, and they were curious. So, we align this other force with that concept, and then we have a decent amount of power that we know already affects these things on our side. Because what they seek to do destroys possibility.
Ren's just watching her, like, she's like, alright, and how do you intend to stop?
Well, I'm part of it. There are things I obviously need to figure out, but it's been trying to manipulate me to become whole again for a while. I imagine I might be able to redirect it somehow. I have to think more about this. Obviously, we all need to get more information, because right now, how the hell are we going to just turn Realmics into what we want them to be? But I think this could help. This could be a source of power on our side if we can do it.
I mean, it doesn't sound like a bad idea, but it sounds exactly like where we're starting with the Realmics anyway.
It's somewhat different, I think, because we're not trying to change sentient entities. We're redirecting a force. Which is basically like, things are on fire. You don't want them to burn, and you manipulate it so it goes another direction. It's different from trying to, turn something that has a mind of its own into something else entirely.
So,
At least if this thing is a force, which I hope it is, because that changes everything.
but wouldn't changing it fundamentally be a better option because it's...
You can't. A force can only be its nature. You can't change that.
Laffy looks at Saint.
Saint looks at Laffy.
And Laffy goes...
Ren looks down at Saint too.
And Laffy goes, Saint, I need your assistance.
He wags his tail.
If the outsider is a realmic and not a force, bark one. But if it is a force, bark twice.
Silence.
Brand gets up and goes and gets another cup of coffee.
Fluffy uses primeval awareness to communicate this basic idea to things.
Ren makes hand motions at Bran to bring her a cup too.
Brand just vaguely waves at her in response.
So you communicate your idea to Saint.
Yes.
He just kind of wags his tail a few times.
She's like, Saint, you're a fucking god.
He does that
Stick
thing
out.
where, he
Fucking
spins
God.
around chasing his tail for a second.
Saint doesn't want to help us, which I'm kind of bitter about.
He barks very loudly at that.
He wants to help us, but he might not know.
Or we're on the wrong track.
Oh, we're talking to a dog. God, dog, or not. Brand returns with 2 cups of coffee.
Saint just barks a handful
are
of
we
times and all of that.
Are we trusting the seer or not? Because she said that it's a force.
Well, aren't they all forces, technically?
No.
Well, did she specifically say that he was a force and that
Yes.
everything else is... then that everything else
Yes.
is different?
She did.
Saint whines loudly, lays on his belly, and then flops over.
Honestly, I think this conversation is not something we should be having right now, because we haven't got even a starting point.
Saint
Well,
kicks his
that's what I'm
doggy legs a few times. He looks at you, Laffy.
Sort of what I'm saying. Here's the thing. We know we want to get the other blessings, but we also know that getting all of them means that we are able to communicate with the Realmics. What happens if we get the final blessing and immediately we are thrust right in front of them?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Should we just... okay, this is gonna sound like a bad idea, but should we just go to Sigil and talk to one of the Plains Masters and be like, hey, we fucked up?
Well, to be fair, if the Master of the Plains had any idea about this, he should have opened his fucking mouth and told us.
Ren takes the cup of coffee from Bran and like pats his shoulder and starts drinking it.
That said, I would not be opposed to saying something to them.
I mean, they could get really mad at us. But, you know...
They sort of let it happen, or at least the Master of Plains did, when he knew exactly what we were going to do and chose to say nothing still.
Oh, he did.
He told us not to.
I
But when
mean,
we said
at
we were
this-
going to, he also didn't tell us that we were going to fucking destroy everything by
Many of us
learning
had
knowledge.
Maybe we should.
Ren-
Maybe
Ren
now
sips
knowing
her-
what we know, we should go have another conversation with them.
Ren sips her coffee and then she sips her coffee again and she's like, you know, at this point. And she sips her coffee again. Like she's thinking about where her train of thought is going. She's like, we could probably fight him. Sips her coffee again.
Okay.
That's not a good idea. Why the
Well,
fuck do we want to fight him?
Why is that where your train of thought went?
If he was gonna be mad at us.
So we're just gonna fight the Master of
Here's
Plains
the
and all of
thing.
his servants?
He's...
I could imagine it'd be one hell of a fight.
It might be interesting at this, right?
Let's
In a manner
not-
of defending ourselves, right? No.
Yeah, let's just fight all of the
think
Plains
about
Masters.
fighting him.
How about that? Let's fight the Lady of Pain to test our power.
I'm
Like,
losing my
blast
fucking
out the
mind.
Master of Plains.
You were like, let's save this little girl, and now you're like, let's fight the fucking Master of Plains. Like, guys.
That's
Ren,
why.
Ren just lives in the moment.
Yeah. You guys are. Oh my god. Oh.
I mean, it's not like the rest of the party's necessarily agreeing with it.
I'm reeling. Oh. Okay, sorry.
She was thinking, okay, she was like,
Max.
if they're gonna be mad, then she's gonna fight it because
Max,
they're an
what's the
asshole.
CR of the Master of Plane?
Oh my
Oh, God.
And that's where Max is like, fuck, I don't have him fucking prepared, so infinite stats.
Yeah. Hmm.
He fucking
Okay, but...
he snaps his finger, and all of us are suddenly transported to separate planes.
Or
Oh,
we're
God.
all in,
We're
like,
dropped into the plane of fire.
or the astral sea. Just yep, you're just floating out there forever. Fuck you.
Or the Lady of Pain pops in, throws one of us in a maze, and makes the rest of our heads explode.
Jesus. Anyway.
Oh, sorry.
It's alright, we're giving you a second to recover.
Ren continues sipping her coffee.
Mist is just staring at Red. Like, are
So,
you serious?
you know what, let's put that down on the list, carefully consider it, and find out what other options we have first.
Yeah, we'll table it for now.
We'll come back to that if we get really, really, really desperate.
You know what? Why don't we just amass an army of werewolves?
What?
Ren sips
Whoa.
her coffee.
Ren, make a wisdom saving throw.
God
Oh
damn
my
Calm down there, Laffy. You're going to excite the poor girl.
What is her? Oh, she is +5.
Okay.
Wisdom saves.
Okay.
Might help if I typed that right. Might help if I actually typed that right.
I believe in you.
There you go.
You blush.
How high was that save?
It's Ren.
Yeah.
Pretty high.
You're assuming that was the failure state, huh? Oh. And also, Saint's looking at you, Nenia, like with that expectant dog look. He's still on his back, legs in the air. He's kind of looking at you, Nenia.
Well, Nania's embarrassed that she defended Ren at all, so yeah, she's taking me to give up her pets.
He's happy now. Continue.
Okay. She continues.
Right, so are we going to Onda Sigil?
I vote on Da.
I also vote on Da. Honestly, kind of wondering what kind of
at any point in time, really.
Alright, well then let's go to Onda. We'll get on the boat. Fucking go.
So, since you're all in agreement, as you start to you gather your things, what you need for the day, well, the night rather. As you're leaving, it is nighttime in Sunward Raston still, and as you go to close the door behind you, Laffy, since you're the last one out, you hear a screaming yowl come from deep within the mansion.
Oh my god.
Where? Jesus Christ.
what happened.
Not.
What's going on with Polka Dot?
You close the door, and it seals up.
Ren doesn't even react.
Yeah, you all hear just this awful like noise.
Like,
He's
the
dead.
only
That goat
the
is gonna
only
kill us in our sleep.
the only reaction Bran has is this like half-second long like existential stare.
Okay.
Fluffy looks at Bran like, you okay?
Perfectly fine. Shall we continue?
Yeah, alright.
So you guys grab your stuff, and it's nighttime. And you're still relatively close to the village, but you see that it's not really a village prepared for night. So everybody's indoors. There's really no lights outside. You do see some candles strewn around the houses. There's a few houses that have like the orange glow of candlelight inside of them, but by and large it is dark out there. The only thing that's lighting the plains and the rocky terrain is the moon. But using that as a landmark of sorts, you're able to turn around and find your way back to Raston. And you're walking through this terrain that is still treacherous, especially without the sun to guide you. Using Laffy's just innate dog-like senses, you guys do eventually get back to Raston itself, and you're at that precipice, or like that cusp where the sand and dirt that you're currently standing on transitions directly into pavement.
When they're walking, Mista's gonna keep an eye out. She doesn't really expect to see any, but she's looking for like teleportation sigils, or like, you know, a place where, you know, if you were to try to teleport or a portal or whatever, you would end up there, or something like that.
Make a perception check.
Alright. Oh god, I gotta open the thing. Where'd it go? I love that the candy corn's the only thing that has an icon.
Yep. Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
Okay. Perception is here. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see anything as you're going back. But yeah, you find that kind of sudden precipice, and you step through, and as you do, suddenly you're blinded by the glare of sunlight in your faces. And you look up, you shield your eyes with your hands, And you look around and you see there are people in the streets now, where before there wasn't really anybody, and it seemed like the city hadn't really come to terms or wasn't aware of what happened. Now there are people in the streets looking somewhat worried. You see there are people huddling together as they rush through the streets, as people that are scared and expectant of something horrible to come often do. The city is quiet compared to the bustle and hustle and kind of ever-going party that used to be in there. But people, by and large, avoid you as you head through the streets, and again, it's this totally different atmosphere. It's just this stark difference, and the city in the daylight doesn't look nearly as opulent as it did at nighttime. In fact, you can see that the buildings are crumbling in some places. They are not well kept, or not nearly as well kept as they looked without the sun falling on them. It takes you about 20 minutes of walking along to reach the docks, where it is abandoned, save for the Seasong Prow and several of those boats that you did see, but they are completely abandoned, and before they had that look about them like they just hadn't been used, where now they look like they won't be used, if you guys kind of know what I'm talking about there.
How big are these boats?
A little bit smaller than the Seasong Prow, but large enough to, or actually make a perception check.
Sure. Oh my god.
Wow.
Keyboard,
Nailed
please.
Okay. You do take a moment or two to look over the boats, and they're big enough to be not great trading vessels, but they could be used to transport people rather effectively, and some goods. They look like they might have been for patrolling the sea prior to everything happening, though.
Are they...
Is Ryan gonna try to steal one?
Do they look small enough that if we hitched one to the Seasong's prow, we would still move at a reasonable pace?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta be a pirate.
Hell yeah! Do you know how much these things would sell for?
God.
You can see that there are crew members milling about on the Seasong Prow's dock, or not dock, deck, looking a bit restless.
Ren calls up, "Oi!"
One of them looks down. What?
Are we ready to go?
Who's we? Oh, you.
Wow.
Bryn's been saying we had to wait until you came back. Things are looking a bit sketchy out there, so we've been getting antsy up here.
Well, here we are.
Great.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Give me a second. And he wanders back, and you see he goes to grab Artok, and Artok comes up and looks down at you. Just like, you ready to go then?
Yeah, and I was thinking, why don't we, and she gestures to one of the boats, take one of these with us?
He looks where you're pointing, and you see his, slabbering, maw part, and his tongue comes out and licks at his snout, and he looks thoughtful. You know, typically when you said you were thinking, it was usually a bad thing, but you got a good idea this time. You think we won't be caught?
I think they're a bit busy with their own internal politics.
Luffy looks around. Is there anybody around?
Perception check.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Mist is looking around vaguely for people, but again, for
24.
teleportation.
You don't
shit.
see anybody.
Alright.
Luffy
Guess in the
looks at Ren and she's like, You know, we already caused these people a lot of duress, and now we're just gonna steal one of their boats?
Yep. And Ren is looking around the docks, and she's like, "Does there look like there's any like cargo left here? Like just
Oh my god.
laying around?"
You don't see anything that looks like it would be cargo.
Okay.
When I say it is abandoned, it is abandoned.
Okay. Ren starts moving towards like the closest ship.
So what do we want to do with the boat once we steal it?
Sell it.
I mean, sure, do we really need it?
And Ren stops and she looks at Brian and she's like, "Do you have any idea how much gold one of these will go for?" "Hey, we brought a ship from across the sea!"
Right. Well, I keep forgetting, gold has worth here.
Hey, thanks to Aurelian, it's got worth in Sigil now, too.
So while you guys have been talking, the crew members have started getting some rope, and kind of regardless of what you were saying, they've hopped off and are starting to walk over to one of the boats and climb up onto the deck, and they're tying that boat up.
Yeah, no. Ren's gonna take a look around the dock a little more thoroughly while they're doing that, just to see if there's anything valuable they can haul onto it in the meantime.
Okay.
Luffy covers her eyes.
Mist is probably wandering around with Ren, but she's like totally oblivious to what's going on, and she's still looking for like
Perception or investigation?
teleportation.
Investigation on your
Shit.
behalf and perception from you, Mist.
Okay. Did that work? Oh no. Okay.
No.
God damn it! I'm gonna use
That's,
luck.
Okay.
It's actually a 25.
Alright.
Luck in this shit. There we go.
Um,
That's too dumb. That happened twice in a row.
Neither of you find anything. Like, Ren, there are some things that you kind of waffle on that maybe it would sell well by sheer virtue of being foreign, but there's nothing that really stands out.
Okay.
Mist, you don't see anything like what you're looking for.
Okay. She's Eldritch sighting to see if any weird magic shit's going on, but she's guessing no.
No.
Just for the heck of it.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, while you guys have been looking around, they've been hog-tying that boat. And it takes about 30-45 minutes while Ren is stalking about. Laffy is just covering her eyes. And
Are there any warehouses that she can sneak into?
nothing that you see.
Okay.
It is just kind of this completely empty dock or pier and docks as far as you can see.
That's fair.
Yeah. It is imminently clear that this was not a trading hub of any sort.
Yeah.
So, yeah, with the boat all hog-tied up, it's not hog-tied, but that's what I'm saying, because I like saying that word. They're crawling back onto the Seasong prow and looking over and, "You guys ready to go?"
Yeah, we're ready.
Right. And Artox disappeared below decks, and they extend a gangplank down to you guys, and it clatters against the wood.
Ren hops up.
And Bran also hops up.
Yeah,
Manny follows.
Mist goes up. He's like, well, if we ever want to get back here, we're gonna have to do it the long way.
As you say that,
Could we,
Nabrin
like-
comes up. Sorry, go ahead.
Could we switch servers or something? Because my internet is fine, but everyone keeps cutting in and out.
Yeah, give me
Oh.
a second.
Oh.
We'll go central. All right, everyone, say a word.
Words.
A word.
Word.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we any better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I should
I
have
mean,
said yes.
for now, I hope
Yeah.
you guys continue to be hearable.
Mist, when you say you'll have to come back the long way, Nabrin swaggers onto the deck. She's dressed a bit differently now. The cut of her clothes is a bit
Oh,
more fine. The fabrics look more local to Rastin than they do to Anda. It's kind of the same fashions.
As an aside, did they ever pick up their shit?
What shit?
The shit that we ordered, like the armor and the
Oh, yeah.
clothing?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Nabrin, beneath her mask, Mist, you can feel her gaze fall upon you, and she says, "Oh, that won't be a big problem. We've established a trading deal with some of the merchants here.
Oh.
So there will be regular journeys, and hopefully it won't be too long before there's more regular ones with other groups."
That's good to know.
Oh, it's very good.
Hopefully
Ren-
they won't
Ren
suspect
kinda
us of
grins.
taking this, then. Miss kind of vaguely gestures with the
Oh, hold on. This server is worse.
Oh no.
Let's try US South. Boom.
hello.
Wow.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh.
Now the server's in my territory.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
You sound
Hey.
so worried. Okay, and yeah, Ren, you can tell by the tone in Nabrin's voice that she got really rich.
Ren kind of grins at her, and she's like, "Glad we could be of assistance."
Me too. It's about time. Anyway, we're shoving off in about 5. We estimate it's going to take almost 2 weeks to get back, unfortunately. The tides are against us out this way. So, get comfy.
I'm always comfy.
She looks at the rest of the group, laughs, and then walks away.
I mean, if we can't get comfy on the ship, we always have the mansion.
You know, what? That would go. Would that go with the ship? Or would the door stay in one spot while the ship kept going?
No, that's... We've
If you're-
used it on the ship before.
We did?
Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
Well, that's good.
so you guys clamber on board. You keep your own peace as the ship shoves off and heads out to sea. Is there anything you're going to like to do for the next 2 weeks?
Oh my god, that's a question.
Yeah. Your
No.
characters are going to have no additional information available to them. So yeah, Nenio, what would you like to do?
She'll be probably be hanging out with Yanka a lot still, like helping with injuries and
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, over the course of the 2 weeks, there are several sprains and splinters and almost broken bones from the inevitable pirate fights that happen. So you do help out with that, and yeah.
Ren goes to Laffy, and she sits down, and she's like, very serious. She's like, Laffy,
Ben,
I need to learn Elven.
why?
Because it's the only language I don't know.
Okay, well, and Luffy gets out a book that she never uses.
Alright, so she pulls a book out of hammer space.
And she starts writing stuff down, and she's like, so get ready for the most pretentious, confusing time of your life.
Okay. And
There's
and
no proper curse words in Elven. There's just things that sound kind of insulting. And if you tell someone to die, that is the most insulting thing.
God damn it.
I mean, I could teach you Orcish if you'd like.
I know Orcish.
What about Goblin?
Why do you know Goblin?
I know Halfling too, and Dwarvish, and Undercommon.
Luffy just looks at Ren bewildered for a moment.
I'm a pirate. I need to learn how to, speak words.
Let's take this, one language at a time.
And then Ren like uses some like sign language, and she's like, "I know thieves can't too."
Oh God, can you repeat that? It cut out.
Oh, okay. And Ren like uses some sign language, which to anyone who speaks thieves can't was like, "I speak thief can't." And
Again? Jesus.
Oh.
Alright, it might just be her.
And I don't know.
Yeah,
this
it's really
is,
bad.
It's kind of choppy for me too. At least this one is. It wasn't before, but now.
Alright, we're going back east.
okay,
Gosh.
Okay.
Ed, are you alive?
I for now.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
If it happens again, I might just say, like, restart your computer.
All right.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway.
what happened the last time? No.
Yeah, no, I'm afraid of it, but... Anyway, yeah, so you do the sign language thing, and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She says, "I speak thieves can't too."
Alfie's like, all right, well, you teach me thieves' cat, and I'll teach you up, and I want to learn how to do the fancy things with my hand.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, so over the course of the next 2 weeks, you guys spend a lot of hours together teaching each other languages. Ren, you come to learn that Elven has way too many apostrophes in it. And while some words have prefixes and suffixes, Elven just has different positions of apostrophes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Laffy,
That makes so much sense, but oh my god.
Right. Laffy, you learned that a lot of thieves can't involves the middle finger. You are both now proficient in Elven and
Nice.
Thieves' Cant.
Nice.
Hey.
Is there anything else that would like to be done?
I imagine that Mist is curious about what Laffy and Ren are doing sometimes, but a lot of other times she's like writing and spacing out and staring at her tentacle arm. Like she's sort of half there and half not there.
Okay. Bran, how about you?
Yeah, Brand's just kind of hanging out.
Okay.
Just
So,
finding things to keep himself occupied.
alright. Your exhaustion has clearly worn off. It's been a long 2 weeks. You guys a little bit tired of each other. The mansion is kind of the one saving grace that gives you the space to not constantly see each other. Ren, you're used to this to a degree, and you're used to...
Yeah.
It's why going into port is such a big deal for the sailors and why they act out as they do.
Yeah.
But it is not super duper long. Well, it is. It is the 2 weeks, and on about the 15th day, you guys do see the port of Ilthorn in the distance. It's still the not very towering structure, kind of the pirate-centric looking town. But you do see that there are a few ships docked, and you see that you are back home, for lack of a better term. A few more hours pass, and you guys do pull into Ilthorn. And the ship knocks up against one of the docks. Ropes are thrown down, and some of the dockhands rush over and tie the boat down. And Bryn looks at you guys and looks back at the boat that you've been towing, and we're gonna be here a while. Why don't you kids go out and have fun?
Ren actually doesn't.
She doesn't wanna.
Yeah.
Sweetheart, we're not gonna touch your boat. We don't need the money anymore.
Ren looks mildly offended that she would think that is why she's hesitating.
You can feel Nubrin's eyebrow raise. There's like that audible what, but it's not a word.
And Ren doesn't really say anything, and she just hurries off the boat.
Oh.
Okay.
Luffy looks at Nabrin and she's like, what she was going to say is that she's gonna miss you, and then Luffy runs before anyone can say anything to her.
I imagine that being like a full sprint.
Yeah, it is.
Like, not a cartoon run or anything, just a full-ass sprint to get off the boat. So you guys all hop off the boat, and you're back in this pirate town. You are surrounded by the distinct smell of unwashed bodies and sea spray. There is noise all around you. It is a pleasant change from the stifling nothingness of the sea and the chatter and bodily functions of the sailors.
God.
So you guys are
Ren's okay with bodily functions.
you guys are standing around. Occasionally, you're being shoved into by some of the burlier individuals that are carrying crates around. And oi, move it!
Ren carefully adjusts her elbows to avoid being shoved around.
Okay,
So most people get elbows in the ribs if they try.
okay. A few
Yeah,
people
yeah.
do, and ugh, fuck.
Ren just looks at him like, watch where you're going.
So what are you guys doing?
Luffy is like, so, what's the authentic sailor experience coming for? Do we, get drunk, piss on a wall, go get lady favors? What's the deal? Are we just going to leave?
I mean, traditionally it's all of the above and not necessarily in that order.
Oh, I don't want lady favors. Can we skip that part?
I mean, I
That's
guess
the part
anyone who
Luffy wants to
that
skip.
Part can skip it. Or can do whatever.
Or, I mean, we could just go, I suppose. And Ren kind of looks back at the boat and she's like,
It is dusk, by the way.
Oh, I guess we should go
Go
sell
back.
that boat.
Ren, do you want to sell the boat or do you want it?
what am I gonna do with a boat? I mean,
Sail it?
We could enchant it to fly somehow. We could talk to Aurelian about.
Really?
Actually, that's a good idea. Talk to Aurelian about a ship.
When
You
all
could
this
have
is
a-
over, gets
you
a
could-
crew and...
Have a moving ship with his shit on it. That
That would
flies.
be pretty cool.
And Ren is sitting there with her head in her hands, oh my god, this is the best idea ever.
You guys all get a distinct chill up your spine. The thought of Aurelian having a flying mobile shop.
Wait, what did you say?
You guys all get this distinct shiver down your spine at the thought of that red-skinned bastard getting a flying shop.
Luffy interprets that as a good shiver.
Yeah, no, take that as you will.
Yeah,
And-
sure.
Yeah. And Ren goes to find the dockmaster
Okay.
so that she can work
yeah.
out how to port the ship and have it cared for the
Okay.
foreseeable future.
Okay. You
She
negotiate.
literally just turns around and walks off somewhere.
Okay. The dock master's never hard to find. They're the one with the clipboard.
Yeah.
And
can't.
you go up and you haggle back and forth, and they agree to a 50 gold a month boarding fee.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. How much money do we have left? Hang on. Ren will pull out the chest. And yeah, she slaps enough down for a year.
Okay. Yeah, so you slap the money down, and the dock master takes it and nods, and we'll keep good care of it.
Thank you. And if the and she sort of stumbles over her words a little bit. If anything happens to the captain of the Sea Song's Proud's boat. If anything happens to that ship, she can have it.
The dockmaster looks down at the clipboard and makes a little note.
And if she needs it for anything, she can use it.
Looks back down, makes another note. Is that all?
And then she hands over like 1,000 more coins in case of maintenance.
Thanks. And you see the dockmaster pocket some of it.
Ren doesn't even care.
And the small mousy man smiles sheepishly and kind of unabashedly.
Ren pats his shoulder and then heads off back down the dock.
Okay. So you guys are all standing on this dock still. The sun is setting and the town around you is lighting up. You can hear the sound and see the traffic of sailors filtering into taverns or lady favor houses or man favor houses. Pirates don't discriminate. Where are you guys going?
Mist is super spacing out, so wherever anyone else is going.
Luffy at some point had tried to pee on a wall before she remembered that she doesn't have the right parts for it.
Awkwardly tries.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh my god!
No, she
handling.
stopped. She stopped before anything could come out.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh my god. Okay.
I like the mental image of Luffy, like, with her pants half down, like, ah, shit. Saint sees what you're doing and goes and does it for you.
Oh my god.
She pats him on the head and is like, I can always rely on you, buddy.
He does that thing where he turns and, like, kicks some dirt up onto the wall. That stupid dog thing, I hate it.
My dog has started doing that.
It's the worst. Right, so Luffy tried to pee on a wall. Saint did it for her. Saint peed on the wall of a tavern, and as you guys are gathered around like a bunch of delinquents watching a dog piss on a wall, you see sailors stagger out of the tavern and look at you guys and, it's my wall. Move.
Oh god, Saint, get away.
And you see he whips out his piece, and there's this awful sound like a horse taking a leak. It's loud.
Oh god.
And you guys all back away, and and you scurry out of the alleyway you were in.
Wow.
And, yeah.
What a lovely town.
Ren
Well.
finally catches up to them.
Luffy doesn't look proud of herself.
Ren looks at her and then doesn't ask any questions.
Saint looks proud of himself. So yeah, what are you guys doing from here? It's still nighttime. Saint's looking at you kind of expectantly, Ren. It's your kind of town.
Ren looks down at Saint,
Yeah.
like kind of like runs a hand back through her hair awkwardly. I mean, and she gestures to the tavern. There's a tavern.
He turns and looks at the tavern and just trots on in. You guys
So I
gonna-
guess that's
Luffy's
where we're
gonna-
going, right?
Luffy's gonna go in.
You
She's gonna
fall-
order a drink. And she's gonna order a big old slab of mutton for Saint.
Okay. Yeah, you order a big old drink, and it's not too bawdy a tavern. It's bawdy enough. It's definitely for sailors, but it's somewhat well kept. The floors are polished. The barkeep looks like he bathed recently. The waitresses are indeed waitresses, not serving wenches. Somehow you've stumbled upon the one semi-respectable inn within Ilthorn. And you guys, or Laffy, you order a drink and you find a table and plunk your ass down and
She also ordered mutton for Saint.
yes,
an
and
important
you put the
detail.
mutton down on the floor and Saint tears into it with gusto. And
Miss, oh.
no, go ahead.
I mean, Miss just goes and sits next to Laffy and then starts looking around and everything, kind of like, you know, how a kid at a place they're not familiar with has to stare at everything. That's kind of what Miss is doing right now.
Laffy puts a hand on Miss' shoulder and is like, be careful, if you stare at the wrong person for too long, there's gonna be a fight, probably.
Well.
Or they'll think that you're trying to, like, you know, and then Laffy, like, squints her eyes a little bit and, like, bobs her eyebrows.
Yeah. Mist seems to understand this, and she snickers. It's like, well, I mean, then I can show them this, and she raises her tentacle arm and sort of, like,
Jesus.
finger waves, but also the tentacles do it. Might back off. Or not.
there were a pair of elves nearby looking at you guys until you did that, and they hurriedly look away and start talking amongst themselves. Their tone is very clearly horrified.
They don't look familiar. I'm guessing they don't
No.
look familiar.
No.
All right. That Mist probably notices that and giggles some more.
But there's a lot of chatter around you guys. And a lot of people seem kind of deep in conversation with one another. And Ren, you know that's a little unusual for a pirate town. Typically there's more broad socialization and less people talking to each other. So do you guys all have drinks?
Ren doesn't yet.
Okay. Have you all sat down then?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least that.
Yeah.
At
Okay.
least that.
Okay, so you're sitting down and some of you have drinks. They're not particularly good drinks. They're the sort to get the job done. Saint is at the foot of the table, munching away loudly, obnoxiously, disgustingly. And you guys are all just kind of sitting around quietly, and you do overhear some conversation. You hear a pair of individuals mention Ardor.
Ren kind of like straightens her back.
Laffy purrs.
Out of the corner of your eye, you see that they are two men dressed in simple brown clothing, some light armor on them, but nothing dramatic. They look like they might just be travelers. And one of them, long brown hair, kind of ruddy skin, just says, "You heard about the new government that's forming up in Ardor? Seems to be uniting to help rebuild." The other one just kind of shrugs and, government, who needs it? Never did us any good. And that's all you hear from them that's of note. They kind of fall into a more hushed tone at that point, and just kind of chatting amongst themselves. Someone make a perception check.
Just one person? Or
Whoever wants to.
I'm gonna make a perception check. I wanna 17.
Sure, Ren will make one.
Why
Mist,
not?
everyone just go.
Yeah, Nania, you make one too.
Okay.
In fact, Saint's gonna make one.
Hey, decent one.
Oh, Saint's too preoccupied with his meat. Okay, so, Mist, you hone in on a conversation, between elves in particular, mentioning, or not mentioning, they say, so I was there in Frostrin, and the Gavels came by, and they took a man's hand for stealing. The other one just laughs and, no, they would never do that. No, I swear, they just snatched his hand for stealing. Simple as that. He said the law needs to be obeyed. And the other one just shakes his head. Whatever. Yeah?
Okay. Would Mist know what this place is? Was it Frost Run or Frust Run?
Frost Run is what you heard, but they said it funny.
Okay.
Make a history check.
Oh boy. 38.
Yeah. Frost Run is a city, or not a city, a town that is at the foot of the Burrow Hills, which are the hills that separate. Actually, let me go ahead and show you this on the world map, or the continental map.
Hey.
These are the Burrow Hills,
Okay.
and you know Frost Run is right about here at the very base of them.
Alright.
And then, Laffy, you hear, or Laffy and Nenia, you guys kind of hone in on the same conversation. You both lean in, and you hear, "Oh, the green cloaks, they were there. They fought off the demons. They're famous, you know, that's what they do. They go around and they help people out and fight off all the demons that are still about. It's good shit, good shit. We need people like that. Heroes is what they call them."
Laffy stares off into the middle distance.
Bran and Ren, you guys collectively, you don't overhear too much. You do hear mention of a city called Elthir and how it is being rebuilt. But other than that, you know, the night kind of passes quietly at that point. And you guys all hear someone also mention the town Silthaven.
Heh. That's familiar.
And they seem to be talking about that it's a new home for half-breeds. And it is currently kind of the center of the council that has been formed. And that they've heard that the Green Cloaks are thinking of heading that way. Though they've been seen in Frostern recently.
Laffy looks up. Did you, was all this information relayed? Because Laffy probably...
Those who
heard.
didn't hear it, it's gonna have to be repeated for, but you can basically just repeat it one for one if you'd like.
Yeah, Laffy repeated, but she heard. Did anyone else?
Yeah, Miss.
Yeah.
Miss will bring it up when that's brought up.
Laffy's like, let's go to Frost Run.
Yeah, apparently some people doing what we were doing over there.
Yeah, funny.
What? Green cloaks. Wait, you don't think that it might be Krieg's people, do you?
I'd be a lot less bitter about it if it was.
I hope it is, honestly.
That even looks like she wants to ask, but probably not great to ask why somebody would be bitter about people doing heroic deeds.
Misinterprets this look and is like, we had a friend a while ago, half-orc, who's the leader of a tribe. We are hoping to meet up with him again. We only heard that he was still around, what was it, a few years ago? A year ago? I don't know. Time is meaningless anyway. But if it's them, that would be rather nice.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, and we missed enough. We're going around killing demons, helping people. But when we go places, people just look at us like, who the fuck are these people?
Maybe the people who are doing it now are fans of yours.
That would make me feel better.
That would be nice.
You don't really overhear much for the rest of the night. It doesn't take much longer before people start filing out and muttering about going to bed, and the elves that you overheard stand up and just roll their eyes, and we've got to get to Elthier in the morning. Gotta go lend our hand, rebuild the port. Oh.
That was a loud ass train.
Yeah, I've never heard I've not heard the train like toot itself that loud.
That confused me. I thought that was in real life because I live near train track.
Me
Yeah,
too.
no, that was I've actually never heard that.
Yeah, same. That was jarring.
Yeah, it was. I was like, what? So yeah. Yeah.
Would Miss know where Elthier is, or what that is?
Make a history check again.
Damn, natural fucking 20.
Nice.
You've been to Elthier.
Oh. She actually remembers a place where she's been.
Yeah. You remember that Elthier was the place that you boarded the ship that took you to Silerai originally.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it is about here.
Okay. They don't... Okay. She doesn't remember it, like, having been destroyed before, right?
No, it wasn't destroyed when you guys went prior, but it's part of Alterel, so.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
So, with everyone filing out, do you guys just kind of crash for the night then?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really think there's much else to do.
Okay.
I can think of, at least at the moment.
Yeah. So you guys, Luffy, you rip open the mansion again, and you guys all pile in, head to your respective rooms, and bed down for the night. Throughout the night, you are haunted by the sounds of screaming, yowling, and on occasion, some of you guys, you could swear it's getting closer to your room.
Oh my god.
Bran, you in particular, you hear
Oh my-
what sounds like outside of your door at one point.
Particularly Bran.
Yeah, particularly Bran.
Bran just takes a pillow and just like buries his face in it, and just is like, I'm going to ignore this.
You hear a plaintive, and then the sound of hooves. No, the sound of hooves trotting away from the door. Ren, suddenly you're laying in bed, drifting off to sleep. An experience that's still somewhat unfamiliar to you, and you hear a clopping noise approach your bedroom door.
Uh-huh. Alright, she opens the door. She gets up and she opens the door.
In the darkness.
Straight to her destiny.
Yeah, in the darkness. All you can see is this vague demonic outline.
Uh-huh.
And then an eye glows. This
Uh-huh.
awful green-orange color. And you hear...
To be fair, Ren and
Hello.
Polka Dot are buddies.
Polka
They
Dot
get each
kind of
other.
walks forward and bumps into your chest with its forehead.
Ren gives her scritchies, like near the horns and the ears.
Polka Dot seems appeased by this. And then Polka Dot leaves.
Okay.
Yep. Just the soft clicking of hooves down the hallway.
Ren closes her door. And then rethinks it and opens her door and actually heads out of the mansion.
Okay.
And she leaves quietly. And she steps into the, I'm guessing they didn't leave the village.
No. You guys just kind of went outside of the inn and decided to crash for the night. So, yeah, you're still in
that's fair.
Ilthorn.
All right, and she kind of heads to the waterfront
Mhm.
and takes a seat on like one of the piers.
Okay.
She just kind of stares at the water for a real long time.
Okay. You kind of doze off, but you never really fall asleep. You just stare at the water for the rest of the night, and at some point you do feel like you are going to pass out, and you think better of staying here much longer, and you head back to the mansion and
Yeah.
find the familiar tear that. Briefly, you suddenly realize that, I think we're the only people that can see this, or else we'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you tug it open and slip inside, and you guys all fall asleep, and the morning comes. And you all head downstairs into the lavish kitchen that Laffy still has with these invisible nothings bringing food in.
Whenever Mist woke up, which is theoretically 4 hours before everyone,
Yep.
she also left the mansion and started wandering the fuck around, but not where there were people.
She's lost forever.
Yeah, I need you to make a nature check.
Probably. I mean, nature check.
Mhm.
Let me see. 17.
Okay, yeah, no, you wander around, but you manage to keep your eye on the building where the mansion is outside of, and if all you do is wander around and kind of think, you estimate when the group will be up, and you find your way back to the mansion with no issues.
She's somewhat surprised, honestly.
And the rest of you guys are already downstairs eating breakfast and still in that half state of existence before you're fully awake.
Coffee is important.
Yeah.
Nania probably got up a little bit early to go to the little training room that Luffy made for her.
Okay.
And she gives the dummy a good long staring at for a while, but it's just a lot of contemplating things. Like, she's all ready to go, sleeves rolled up, and she's gonna...
Punch it.
No. She just thinks for a little
Punch it.
bit, and
She's thinking real hard about what it would be like if
Punch it with all the force of
how
a
much it
marshmallow.
would hurt.
Yeah, right?
How much is that gonna hurt somebody if I punch it? But no, it's a lot of contemplation, but she does spend a lot of, like, I don't know, I'd say a good hour or two down there just contemplating before she joins everybody for breakfast. I'm sorry, she's a weenie.
I
Thought
think
she
this
was
is
finding
better.
for nothing.
Oh.
Okay, so you guys see Nenia. Do you roll your sleeves back down and try to make yourself look more presentable when you get to the table, or do you just approach it looking like you were going to get into a fight, but you didn't?
Like she was gonna get into a fight, but she
Okay.
didn't.
Okay, yeah, you guys see Nenia come back, her sleeves rolled up, her shoulders squared a little bit, but she's clean. She's a little bit sweaty.
Oh my God.
Red raises an eyebrow at her over the cup of her coffee.
Morning.
Mist comes in and she sees this and she looks at everyone and she looks at Nanny and is like, what did I miss?
Ren takes another sip of her, a long sip of her coffee and continues to stare at Nenia over the top, over the rim. It's just it's a very scrutinizing look. She doesn't say anything. She just keeps drinking her coffee.
I don't think there's anything missed. Missed?
Mist Green.
Oh. Sorry. And she's just gonna get her coffee too and have breakfast.
Ren keeps watching her.
Bran just shows up at some point and sits down. It's like, did any of you get visited last night?
Visit.
By polka dot.
Yeah, by that.
Polka
That-
Dot has a name.
Yeah. Why?
Oh, no reason. Just, cat
What?
in the body of a goat wandering around the mansion for all eternity.
I mean,
Yep.
I sort of know that feeling. Sort of.
I mean, if anyone wants to try to get polka dot a better body, be my guest.
I mean, it's kind of you and Laffy's fault.
I'm Bobby!
Well, he was looking at Mist and like,
Oh. Well, I mean, I'm definitely planning on getting her a better body eventually. Or
do
them.
something at least with the thing.
Guys. Fluffy looks behind her. And she looks to the left, and then she looks to the right, and she's like, if we just killed Polka, would her immortal soul just wander around the mansion?
Well, I don't really want to just kill Polka Dot, Fluffy, but I don't know.
We could talk to Dromfen about it eventually.
Yeah. Souls are a weird thing on this plane. We
Yeah.
don't really know where they're going. Theoretically, they're doing what they should be doing, but...
Is Polka Dot's soul still, a normal soul, or did something weird happen to it when you crammed it back into its taxidermied corpse?
This kind of looks a lot.
Well, my internet cut out,
no.
so Laffy just zoned out for...
Oh no! Yeah, Miss kind of looks back at Bran. It's like, we're not entirely sure how it actually worked to begin with.
It's getting worse again for her, I think.
Oh no.
Alright, I'm gonna move servers again.
Okay.
Going central. Alright, can you hear
Hello.
us?
Hello?
Okay, I
Hello.
changed
Hello?
servers again.
Hello.
I think it's just me.
It is just you.
No.
We'll power through it. Okay, so, yeah, you guys have been debating Polka Dot's immortal soul. So, are you guys done debating about your abomination?
Maybe. Probably.
Alright, well, you guys all finish up your coffee, and, Saint looks at you all pretty expectantly, and seems to be waiting for something.
So we're going to
Mr.
Frost
Patsy.
Run, right?
On the head.
What? Wait, why? What did I miss?
Luffy wants to go to Frost Run because we heard that the green cloaks are there.
What's
Her-
And I
the
said,
cloak?
I thought we
Apparently,
relayed this.
yeah.
Ren was spacing out, and Nino
Yeah.
had stepped briefly AFK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, sorry,
Yeah.
my boss called me, so.
Oh, yeah, Mist's like, they were a group of adventurers who were apparently doing what Laffy and I were doing, and wandering around killing demons and helping people and such.
Yeah,
Oh,
didn't
green
some guy get
cloaks.
his hand cut off in Frost Run? That sounds rad.
Yeah, for stealing. Ren, don't steal anything unless you don't want your hands.
I mean, they'd have to catch me first.
Laffy looks at Ren and she's like, well then how would you do this? And Laffy starts screaming at Ren in Thieves' Cant, but you can't scream in Thieves' Cant, so she's just spelling A.
Miss looks at
Like,
Laffy.
losing her shit. Like, she understands.
stops too.
Alright, but we have to stop in Ardor on our way up.
Well, we.
Frost Run is not up.
Yeah.
I
It is
assume.
down. Yeah, no. Frost
It's
Run
like-
is at the base of the Burrow Hills, so it's right about here.
Well, according to what we learned before, the temples that we are most likely going to are in the Ardoran Mountains, which we have to go eventually, so we will be heading to Ardor. And the other one was what? In the...
Near Sealorai, and Frostrum is
Yeah.
in Alterel, right? So
Pretty
we,
much.
yeah, we just stop there, then we head up to Ardor.
Alright.
Though... Well, assuming that we're going to just straight up be going to the temples first. Before we go to the last one, we need to have an idea of what we're doing.
Oh, we definitely do.
I mean, we have an idea of what we're doing. Perhaps
We just
going
need
to
to-
the temples will give us a better idea of how.
Right, but...
And
Again.
perhaps they'll give you more answers as well.
I think the concern is that we'll get the last blessing and then they'll show up.
Yes, that is the concern.
I mean, it's a fair concern, but why?
We don't know how this works. What do you mean, why?
Exactly. Why are you assuming that they're going to show up out of nowhere because we get that
Because-
blessing?
Because, it's a possibility that if they do, we're fucked if we don't have something to do at that point.
And Ren looks at her palm,
Mm-hmm.
and she closes her fist over it, and she's just like, "We'll figure it out." I'm not saying we go to the last temple, but we can at least go to the next one.
Yeah, that's sort of... that... Miss just looks like a little bit like that's kind of what she'd been trying to say this whole time, but she's not talking anymore.
And
Well, I'm
Ren just
glad
gives
we got that all figured out.
Ren just gives Mist a look like you speak in riddles. What do you want from me? And then she. So how are we getting there?
I don't know, I guess we'll just walk.
Probably. Apparently, what is it? The,
That's boring. Ren goes to buy some horses.
Okay, Ren, mid someone else's sentence, I believe Mist was about to say something.
Yeah.
You just get up and say, that's
Yeah.
boring, and get up and leave.
Yeah.
Mr. Sighs at Red. And she kind of stares off into nothing, and she's like, before we get to the last place, I might try to head somewhere myself. No one else
Where were
wants
you
to.
thinking?
I mean, probably the swamp. You already know what I want to do.
Oh, yeah. That's a
know,
bit
it's
of
a
a
ways.
detour, but yeah.
Ren, you readily find a stable of horses, and the stable master actually seems pretty eager to get rid of these horses.
Oh my god.
Why?
Fuck these horses, man.
You
Why?
can... What kind of check do you
Why?
want to make?
The why check.
The why check.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, she'll spend some time, poking around, taking a look at them, if there's anything wrong with them. If they have
Animal.
bugs or disease.
Animal handling check.
Okay.
They all look like this.
You really... you got...
Picture.
You... Hold on, internet, for reference sake, they all look like this. Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
None of them look like that. You can't
Okay.
tell though. They are objectively horses, and they will objectively get you somewhere.
Okay. Ren puts some gold down on them. She only buys 4 'cause she's got her own.
Okay.
You're gonna get us all these troubled horses.
All right. You get 4 horses. One is a dappled mare. She is about 6 hands tall, and doesn't look super young.
Okay.
You get a stallion that you do realize that like this is a pure black stallion, and you're not sure why it was so cheap. By the way, you spent 500 gold on 4 horses.
That's fine. That's fair.
So you have the stallion.
4.
You just straight up got a pony.
Okay.
And
Alright.
like not like a young horse, just a pony.
A pony.
Yeah.
That's Laffy's.
Fuck you.
And you think you might have also gotten a mule.
Oh my.
As far as you're concerned, it had 4 legs, a tail,
That one.
and looked
that one's
vaguely
fine.
like a horse.
Alright, Ren comes back.
Bran just stares at the animals
Does she
trailing
bring?
behind her.
Okay, but does she bring them in the mansion?
Yes. Yes. She is now.
She walks in the door with like 4 vaguely horsish creatures.
Lovey looks at Ren and she's like, why the fuck did you bring these into man?
I mean, it's not like you can't make a stable, right?
You know I can summon a Pegasus, right?
You mentioned that once.
I've never seen you do it, so I figured it was, a figure of speech.
For
Ren,
what?
Bran pulls out his Pegasus whistle and blows on it.
Does it appear in the mansion?
I don't know. Find out.
Burst through the doors.
Imagine the Pegasus like the
Okay,
Hercules Pegasus.
Yeah.
You suddenly there's a bright light above you. And you look up and there's a chorus of noises. It's a heavenly chorus, and you realize it's a heavenly chorus of horses neighing. And from this bright light descends a beautiful Pegasus. It touches down with a quiet click of hooves against the ground.
You actually have a Pegasus.
Everyone, meet Stardust.
It's
No Stardust.
Stardust
Hey,
neighs
Stardust.
majestically.
Majestic neighing.
I'm just envisioning this fucking like heavenly Pegasus standing next to this mule and pony.
What are we gonna do with this spare horse?
I don't know. It
Maybe.
can be Polka Dot's friend.
Saint, do you want a horse?
Saint looks at you. Looks at one of the. He just looks at the 4 horses and then looks at you. And looks back at the horses and just stares at them and wags his tail.
Well, they're friends now. Laffy, make them stables.
Laffy looks at her and she's just like, but we were gonna leave.
I mean, Polka Dot can stay in the mansion.
You know, polka
Polka
dot's
dot
an odd
stays in the
exception to a lot of
mansion.
things.
Yes, I am aware, but we were going to leave, presumably on horses.
I mean, yeah, but we've got an extra one now.
You've got a spare horse.
Oh my god!
You never know when you might need one.
Never know.
I hate all of you.
You can store it in the same container as the spare horse.
Yeah, just put it in the stock box. It's fine.
We haven't used that in a while.
I mean, I don't think a horse would fit in the stock box.
Let's just have.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You know,
You cut out.
we.
Oh no! you're just gone.
Oh. Alright, let me change the server again.
Oh my
I'm so mad.
god.
Alright. How about now?
Hey.
Hey,
Yay.
hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Hey.
So, you've got a spare horse. What are you guys gonna do with it?
Fuck off.
I mean, you do.
I'm so angry.
What are you gonna do with your spare horse? More importantly,
Fluffy.
which one is the spare?
Right.
Well, which one do people not want to ride?
Mist is like, I want the black one.
Ren gives her the stallion.
Fluffy is seethingly quiet.
Mist, what's your AC?
Oh god. It's 16.
The stallion bites you,
Jesus.
and you take 3 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't even do anything.
It goes to bite you again.
Mist tries to get out of the way.
Okay.
Dude,
Gracious.
Yeah.
You get out of the
she-
way, and the horse just stands there, glaring.
I'm thinking like,
apples work.
yeah, Mist goes over to the ambiguous food thing and is like tries to get apples. However, you get apples.
Okay, well, you get an apple by thinking about an apple hard enough that Laffy knows you're thinking about an apple, so an apple happens.
Perfect.
The transitive property of apples. You got an apple, you take it over to the stallion and make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
I enjoy that you're just doubling down on this angry horse.
Not great.
You hold out the apple, and the horse bites your entire hand.
Okay, but okay. I'm guessing it's not the tentacle hand because that would.
It doesn't matter which hand it is. It
Yeah.
bit you, and you take 1 point of piercing damage.
It's just like God.
It took
Damn
the apple.
Yeah.
Laffy looks at Mist, and she steps between Mist and the horse. And Laffy looks the horse in its fucking crazy eyes.
The horse has
And
to
Laffy
bend
bites the
its.
horse.
What?
Where are you biting it?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's a good
Yeah,
question.
this determines a lot. Where are you biting it?
Probably like somewhere
It's a big horse.
in like the front side.
Okay, just make an attack roll.
Okay.
Basic melee attack. With your teeth.
16.
You bite the horse. Roll damage.
Did it.
Roll 1d4 damage. Plus,
Oh my god.
yeah. Plus your,
Eleven.
yeah, plus your strength mod.
Okay, so nothing. 4.
Oh my
You
god.
bite the horse and it bleeds.
Wow. Mist is like nothing.
Luffy looks the horse in the eyes again.
The horse looks at you with great fear. The horse is like paralyzed.
Oh my god.
Luffy's like, okay, now try again.
Oh, alright. Miss thinks real hard about another apple.
Okay, there's an apple in your hand. You hold it out.
And yeah.
Make another persuasion check with advantage.
Oh my god. 21.
The horse looks at you, and its lips pull back to show its teeth, and then it looks to Laffy, and its mouth closes, and it very gently turns its head back to you, Mist, and leans over and daintily takes the apple from your fingers.
She's using the other hand now, by the way.
And the horse just kind of quietly chews on the apple, keeping an eye on you, Laffy.
Luffy does that thing with like her fingers to the eyes and then towards the horse and then back to her eyes.
Mist conveys thanks to Laffy telepathically, not with words, but just with a lot of gracious feelings.
Okay.
Luffy looks at Nenia expectantly. It's time for Nenia to choose her fate.
I'm looking out to say, like, that's not how you handle a horse, but she's just gawking as she does.
We're very unorthodox here.
And she gives Laffy a confused look like, why are you staring?
You've got to pick a horse.
Okay. So,
Ren looks at the remainder of the horses like, I wonder why they were so cheap. What emotional issue, what emotional baggage have they taken on?
oh my god. She just refrains from saying anything about biting another horse and looks him over. And, she's actually gonna go to the weird mule one.
Okay. It is
And,
just straight up a mule.
Okay. Alright, she'll, hold a hand out flat to that one, like, for sniffs and scratchings if applicable, but...
Initially, it just kind of gives you this dead-eyed look.
Jesus.
And slowly puts its snout in your hand, but, like, it just puts its entire snout in your hand.
Oh
Like
my
you're
God.
holding its face up.
we have found Donkey from Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
Perfect.
And then the mule pulls its head away and looks at you. And that's the end of that interaction.
Okay. Well, she is going to choose the mule then.
Okay.
Ren passes off the reins.
Thanks.
There is the mare and the pony.
Luffy is taking the mare because she's not gonna ride a fucking pony.
Okay. The mare wheezes when you take the reins.
Luffy gives the reins back to Ren and he's like, you know what? Mind, I'll take the fucking pony.
Meanwhile, like, all this time, Bran's just, like, fucking hopped up on his Pegasus and is just watching all of this.
Ren, like, hands over the reins of the pony.
The pony looks at you, Laffy. And you feel a sense of kinship immediately.
Luffy sighs and she pets its nose.
It's loving it.
And she's like, you better be real fast.
The pony whinnies.
Luffy is begrudging, dear.
Okay, Ren, that leaves you with the mare.
I mean, Ren.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, okay.
The mare.
So you stable... Laffy, do you create a stable for the mare?
Reluctantly.
Okay. It moves kind of like knobby-kneed, and as it stands into the stable, it wheezes, and then just stands there. And looks content to exist.
Is it sick?
Mist makes more apples appear and gives it some apples too.
Look, I don't know anything about horses. And just walks out of the room.
Can Nania check it?
Yeah, make an animal handling check with advantage.
Alright.
It's a really old horse.
Oh.
She'll be fine. She's just really old and not meant for travel. And she gives Miss an appreciative look for the apple spoiling.
The old horse is just kind of happily, slowly chewing on apples. Congrats on those horses, man.
Jesus.
Wow.
Horse adventures.
So you guys all pile out of your mansion. The most motley crew of adventurers ever. You have Bran sitting atop a glorious heavenly steed. It's like 8 feet tall, with a wingspan of at least 6 feet, if not larger. And it is just this perfectly coiffed mane, and everything about it is just gorgeous. It basically
Does it have
shines.
hair? Does it have hair exactly like Bran?
I hope so.
Yeah, it super does. It is Bran in Pegasus form as far as you're concerned.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Good.
god.
And then there's Mist atop this stallion, and Laffy's right next to it on this pony, and the stallion keeps side-eyeing Laffy warily.
Miss continues to try and have this horse actually like her. But
Okay.
it's questionable.
Yeah. And then out comes Ren on a spectral horse, and then there comes Nenia on a mule.
Ren's spectral horse, by the way, is no longer like glowy or golden or large. It's like this bony, creepy looking kelpie thing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing.
That's
Ren pats it.
It whinnies, but it echoes when it does.
Nice.
Okay, so you guys head off. You direct your various animals off towards the road, and Saint is kind of trotting along beside you, Laffy.
I can only imagine the looks they're getting.
Yeah,
as they leave town.
yeah, you get all sorts of looks. Like, it runs the gamut from amazed to am I still drunk to am I dead? There's really no good reactions to what they're seeing. You guys quickly leave town this way and you head off down the road. And it takes about 2 days travel on horseback. The pace isn't
Right.
as...
Sorry, yeah, for the first, like, couple of hours, Ren is, like, looking over her shoulder continuously and kind of lagging behind.
Well, that takes some skill considering Nenia's riding a mule, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, she's basically, like, walking because her horse can go, like, real fast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the pace, you guys aren't able to take a very quick pace due to the motley nature of the animals. Mist, you have to rein in the stallion from time to time because it tries to bolt, and you barely hold on to the reins each time, but you manage to rein it back. Laffy, your pony is pony, and thus has a handicap by sheer virtue of tiny legs. Nenia, your mule it's a mule. It's not going to move very fast no matter how hard you try. Bran, the Pegasus, moves at precisely the right speed. And Ren, your spectral horse, moves at, again, precisely the right speed, but it's precisely the right speed is dictated by you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and if Ren needs to catch up, she's there in basically, like, 2 seconds flat, because this thing can move at a speed of 100 feet, and can travel 10 miles in an hour or 13 miles at a fast pace.
It's a fucking lightning
So-
horse.
Yeah, real fast.
Yeah. Sorry,
When
go
the
ahead.
stallion misbehaves, Vathan occasionally tries to act like a fucking herd dog with it.
Okay. Vathan scares the stallion for some reason, and every time Vathan caws and swoops, the stallion falls right into line. Eventually, it stops side-eyeing Laffy, and just side-eyeing Vathan.
Sorry.
Yes.
And yeah, it takes you. You guys are traveling for about 2 days. Nope.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That was me.
Okay, yeah.
I dropped the keyboard.
Yeah, you guys are traveling at a reasonable pace. You camp out one night. You hop into the mansion. You bring all the horses in and stable them. The Pegasus. It actually gets along well with all the other horses, despite what you'd think. It's almost like Bran, where, yeah, you're not sure how he's getting along with all of you, but hey, he's a part of this crew, so hey, this Pegasus is a part of the crew too.
Jesus.
You guys rest, you get up the next day, and you head back out onto your horses. And as you're going, the weather grows cooler. And you start heading deeper into trees. You initially pass through some plains, and you're riding alongside some, they're not quite mountains, they're not really hills, they're somewhere in between. And you know that they are the Burrow Hills, and oftentimes it's said that dwarves live underneath them. Most people haven't had much interaction with dwarves, at least in this part of the continent, but it is said that they live underneath the Burrow Hills. And you guys keep going, and the weather is getting cooler, and it's noticeably colder at this point, and it occurs to you that there's probably a reason this is called Frosterin. And eventually you start heading into the forest a little bit, and in the distance you can actually see a town come into view.
I gotta take my dog out. I'll be right back.
Oh shit.
Okay.
My fuck, it's Rivendell.
Basically. Yeah, you guys come up onto this city or town that's kind of sitting on the edge of a large ravine, and it looks like it's kind of an unnaturally built ravine. Or not built, but just kind of unnatural, hasn't been here for very long. And you come at it from a distance, and you see it is indeed at the base of these hills. And it's quiet and very serene over here. And you're coming from the north, and to the south is where this large ravine is. And you see that it is a populated village. People are moving around that you can see, and you guys continue down, and you're trotting down the path on your various motley horses. It's cold enough that you guys are all kind of shivering a little bit. And
This probably finally feels comfortable and all her
Yeah.
shit.
yeah. And you guys swing into the village, and there's really nobody guarding it or anything. And it's a little bit later on in the day. So you do see some people milling about, but by and large, people seem to be indoors. You see that there are lights on in the houses. There is the 2 larger structures that you can see that look like they are a bit more populated than the rest. It is a peaceful, nice little village.
What sorts of people are there? Like, I mean, from the picture, it kind of looks elven, but
yeah,
elves are fucked, so...
These are elves. You see that there are elves around. They're the only things that you can see. You see that they are a very kind of homogeneous looking group of elves. And they take notice of you guys, and a few of them look your way and don't say much, but keep going about their business. And you guys pull up towards the center of the village and look about. And there's not much going on right now. You do see individuals walking into a building that looks like it might be a tavern or an inn. And you look to one side and you see that larger building, and it seems like that is where a lot of the people are. And it is this big open doorway. There's really nothing. There's no doors to shut against it. By and large, this looks like a village that doesn't see conflict very often. So what are you guys gonna do?
Well, Mist is gonna kind of look around. She's not. Wait, did you say that she's been here before? I can't remember. Or
No,
is that-
you
that
know
was
of
the other
this place, but
Okay.
yeah. You do
Uh,
know that this ravine wasn't always here.
Yeah. She kind of glances back and she's like, that wasn't always there. Though I suppose a lot of weird stuff has been going on. And she's sort of looking at the tavern and she's like, so we came this way. Are we looking for the green cloaks? Do we want to do that now? She kind of
Oh, I mean, I said we should go to Frost wherever because it was an impulsive decision and everyone just kind of agreed with me.
well, we're here.
Did want to see if your friend was here, right?
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they are in fact who I think they could be.
Well, let's go ask around.
Yeah. So Mist gets off the ornery horse and leaves it with me.
Okay, Vathan's got a hold on this horse. Vathan's got this horse's number.
And I guess so. You said that there are a few people in the tavern, but most of them are in this big building?
Yes.
Okay, she's gonna go peek inside the big building to see if she can figure out, like, what it is. If it's, like, a shelter, if it's just, like, a gathering place, like, what's going on with this place?
Okay. It's not very hard to discern. You walk a bit closer and you do see that there are individuals all seated around various tables sharing a meal.
Okay.
So
Does
it's
she
like
see
a
any with
mead
green
hall?
cloaks?
Yeah, it's like a longhouse sort of deal.
Yeah, sort of like that. Like a communal longhouse sort of thing. Mist, make a perception check.
Boy. Oh, that's not the right check. You don't need performance. 21.
Okay. You do not.
Okay. So she doesn't go in and disturb them. She just kind of wanted to see what this was. So it's like, well, I don't see anyone with green cloaks in there, and I don't really want to disturb their meal. She's gonna go over to the inn and peek in the inn.
Okay.
Inn tavern. Yeah.
Well, you peek in and you see that it is 3 stories high.
Oh.
So that
Okay.
you can infer that there are probably rooms there. And
Yeah.
you peek your head in, and this kindly young man smiles at you from behind the bar, and you see that it's not very crowded inside, but he's not calling out to you. He's just smiling at you a little bit expectantly. There's a nice warm fire on. It's pretty quiet in there. There's a few people that look of the rougher nature sitting there drinking, but they're not causing any trouble. And welcome back.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey.
Ren returns from spacing out this entire time. Just completely lost.
Yeah,
in
Miss
thought.
has just been wandering around looking into places like a nerd.
Nenella's gonna look for stalls for the horses. She's gonna hop off her mule and see if I can find somewhere to tie up
Okay.
horses.
You
as
see that the
needed.
tavern has some stables.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Bran
Miss... Oh, sorry.
Bran just gives his like Pegasus an appreciative like pat, and then sends him back to the Pegasus realm or wherever
Okay.
he came from.
Yeah, there's this majestic swish of blonde hair, and
Oh
the
my
horse
God.
beats its wings once, twice, just and then it ascends towards the sky, and the clouds part, and the Pegasus just flies up, and then the clouds settle back together, and the Pegasus is gone.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I convinced the Master of Planes to give me one of those.
Huh.
Yeah.
She's just staring at the sky, that's all.
Nenya's in awe.
Always.
And dismisses her own horse.
Yeah,
Or
Uh,
Miss-
like creature.
Yeah,
I'm guessing it just poofs.
yeah. There's
Yeah,
like
pretty
this kind of Ren hops off, and there's this temporary foggy mist around her as she gets off, and when it dissipates, the horse is gone.
Jesus Christ.
Puppy.
oh.
I think
There.
Ed's just in the kitchen.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was like a fucking gunshot, and then I heard the squeaky toy.
Oh my god.
It was like, God, Ether just shot her toy.
You have to wait for the last time.
Oh my god.
You squeaked for the last time, toy. Squeaked in the wrong neighborhood, fucker. Anyway, yeah. So you guys are all off your horses. Nenia, are you guiding what you can back into the stables?
Yeah.
Okay.
Worry about the black one,
Helps.
but she's trying.
Vaithan's helping with
yeah,
the black.
Vathan's helping with the black one, and the black horse obeys. Just falls into line real eagerly, almost.
Yeah,
He's
Mist
raving
is still
over.
sort of leaning into the inn, and she lifts her hand. She's like, "Hello, and she kind of comes in, not to just be like hanging in the doorway like a weirdo.
Okay.
And she's like, "You know, we heard that the green cloaks were around here. Did they come by this way?"
The barkeep, who's this mousy-haired young man with a face made for smiling, does just that. He smiles at you, and they've been, they were here about, I don't know, a few days ago. The Gavels came through, did their thing, and now they're gone.
Gavels. Does Miss know what that is?
No.
Alright. Just like, I've not heard of them. Who are the Gavels?
Oh, you don't know the Gavels? The
No,
Gavels
Been
are,
away for a while.
well, why don't you tell your friends to come in too?
Yeah, Miss.
Plenty of room to go
Looks-
around, food and drink.
Yeah, she looks out and she waves everyone in. and if they don't see her, she says with telepathy, it's like, "This guy's gonna tell us some shit, get in here." Or conveys it, not really words, but you know.
Ren comes in.
Yeah, Bran
Okay.
just saunters his way in.
Yeah, it's this very nice, quiet, quaint inn. Yeah, there's about 4 other individuals there. Everyone is elves, by the way, Ren.
Oh.
Yeah. They're not really
Ow.
looking at you guys askance or anything. They're just not really paying you any mind. This gentleman's the first one that's really taken note of you to address you. But there's about 3 or 4 kind of rougher looking individuals, but they're wearing simpler clothes and have more weathered skin.
Ren gives the elves the look she gives all elves.
Okay, they don't notice.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, and the barkeep is just... Well then, welcome all of you
Thank you.
to the, this is the Rushing River Inn. I hope you stay a while. Now,
We're sort of on our way through,
oh,
but we'll stay for a night at least.
well then. It's good to have you for a night. Now, you're asking about the Gavels.
Yes.
Ah, well, people do call them the green cloaks. They wear cloaks as... They're so green they're almost black. But it's a simpler name than the Gavels. But, they're travelers. They're a group that are roaming the land lately. Keeping things safe for us common folk. Quite nice to have around.
There don't happen to be any half-orcs among them, are there?
Oh, no, they're led by a half-elf, but they're mostly elves.
Mist considers, and she's like, do they have any particular symbols on them, out of curiosity?
No, it's just the cloak. But they
Alright.
call themselves the Gavels because they travel around and they act as judge. You see, there's not much of that these days. It's nice to have someone come around and enforce the laws.
Fair. So they just go around taking justice into their hands and again.
Ha!
Interesting.
Yeah, basically. They do fight off some of the demons we see from time to time. It's how they got the authority, really. They show up and they fight off the demons, and well, we threw a nice big party for them.
Mist side glances laughing at that.
Ren's got this real, like, I don't like this kind of look about her, but she's not saying anything.
Yeah. She's like, there are still demons around. They aren't very common, are they? Like,
Oh,
where do
no,
they
no,
come
no, they're not very common.
That's good.
You know how it goes. People seem to harbor them sometimes, or
Really?
people are possessed by them, or they're seen in the woods. The Gavels show up and help take care of them for us. Us common folk can't do much about them after all.
Ren sniffs and is like, oh, you could if you tried.
We're not fighters.
Everyone's a fighter.
Hmm.
It just takes.
Luffy slowly side-eyes Nanya and then slides back.
It just takes the right amount of push.
Well, let us just say that it's a good thing we've not been pushed.
Exactly.
Good to maintain the innocence while we can, no? But you've only missed them by a few days.
And what else do they do, these Gavels, besides kill demons?
Did they cut off someone's hands? Just curious.
He points to one of the men that's sitting off in the corner. They cut off poor Alan's arm. Or hand, not arm.
Why?
He was caught stealing, and that's against the law. And if you don't obey the law, you'll get what's coming to you, I'm afraid.
What was he stealing? I suppose it doesn't matter what he was stealing if that's the law, but just out of curiosity, that seems rather extreme.
Oh, I don't know what he was trying to steal. I wasn't there.
I mean, we could always ask him ourselves.
True.
He's not the very talkative type anymore.
Well, which way were they heading again? The Gavels? They were going...
They're heading deeper
What,
into
north?
Alterel.
Oh,
Said they were
Okay.
heading towards Silerai to try and help out there.
oh. Have you heard anything from Sealerai? Last I knew it was just completely destroyed.
Quite lawless. People aren't quite staying there all that often. It's said that the demons are actually heavier around there.
That makes sense. It fell first.
Yes. So they think they're going to deal with it all themselves then? That seems a bit much.
Oh, there's quite a number of them.
Oh. How big are the numbers?
Oh, I don't know. They pick up a few boys every town they stop in. The ones that have big heads, that, as this one says, he points to you, Ren. It only takes the right sort of push to teach one how to fight. They're the ones that think they've been pushed.
So they must be a large force. I was thinking just a few people.
Oh, no, they're at least 50 men deep at this point.
Oh. Wow.
This
And
makes me
Ren-
think. that one time when we had to find that guy who was recruiting people, except he was recruiting children. Never mind.
Yeah, Mist kind of side-eyes Laffy with the look kind of like, yeah, yeah.
You like that one time you
Right.
recruited a child? Says Ren, like out of the corner of her mouth.
What's this about recruiting children now?
Nothing.
That's not a good answer.
He's-
Has many a space.
there's certainly no children being recruited.
That's good.
Yeah, at least there's that.
They only take the willing, after all. You can't mete out justice with obligation, they say. You must have the passion for it, is what they say.
Yeah, I don't
Well, they
like it.
certainly-
And Ren's like, I'll be outside. And Ren turns around and walks out. She's uncomfortable.
Okay.
Fair.
Oh, I see your friend isn't a big fan.
We've had a lot of dealings with people in recruiting others. Usually they don't end well, so we're a bit skeptical.
Ah, that's a shame. Well,
Yeah.
the green cloaks can be a bit heavy-handed, but those with power often are. They're good, though. They help. If a
All right,
hand must
thank
be
you.
taken, a hand must be taken.
Mist kind of looks to the others, see if they have any other questions. Otherwise, she's all right for now. But of course, if no one else does, she could think of more, which is you probably don't want her to think more.
Well, Ren, we're gonna go back to you real quick.
Oh,
Hey.
okay.
While you are standing outside, you are beginning to shiver. You are cold, which is another kind of new sensation to you after not feeling much for so long.
Yeah. She remembers that she's gonna get sweaty in the desert again and wraps her cloak a little bit tighter around her.
And you see there are a few people. There is a big, it's like a longhouse where there were a large amount of people sharing a meal, and a few people are starting to come out, talking amongst themselves, kind of happily. You see families, all elven, and all pretty homogenous. They're not quite as diverse as what you saw in Rastin, or deeper into Alterel.
Can she make the logical leap that some of these people are refugees from Sillerai?
Yeah, absolutely. It would make sense.
Okay.
It's this.
Does, like, looking around, does the town look like it's sort of expanded recently? Like, kind of like, are there newer buildings than
It
some nearby?
looks. Make a perception check.
Okay.
You walk around the town a little bit, just getting your bearings of its casing the joint, basically.
Yeah.
And you do see that on the edge where the cliff is, it looks like there were things there that are no longer there. And you look down and you see what looks like might be ruins of a part of this town.
Okay.
And then heading away from the cliff, there are newer buildings.
Okay. Interesting. So are the ruins recent?
You can't really tell from this height. It's a significant drop.
Ren starts sort of like squinting down and makes a little like she's thinking. And she turns around and she starts walking back towards the inn.
Okay. You head back into the inn. No one stops you. Very few people take notice of you. You guys are all still in the inn. What are you gonna do now?
She's walking up to them.
Descriptive.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Mist
she walks up and she looks like she found something.
Yeah, Mist probably had thanked the dude by now for the
Okay.
information. Maybe got like some water, I don't know, whatever fucking elven drink that isn't alcohol that she could, and
He gave you juice.
fine enough.
Yeah.
And
He's
Yeah,
given you all
she-
some juice, including Saint.
What
Delicious.
kind of juice, though?
Yeah.
It's like some kind of berry.
Alright, that's good.
yeah, they probably have a table or are sitting at the bar or whatever. They're not bothering the dude anymore, or at least Mist isn't.
Yeah, Lydia, when he.
Okay, well, Ren walks over and she's like, so the town's got some ruins, like kind of just hanging off the cliff over there.
You know, that sort of makes sense, honestly. That cliff wasn't here before.
So what you're saying is we should go explore them?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, why not? Agree to start.
Why not?
What do we do if not wander around and poke our nose into ruins, really?
Right? That's what I did before I met all of you, anyway.
It's kind of how we all got into this mess.
There may be clues.
Yeah, you know, I can't help but wonder why that group would go all the way to Sealerai to deal with all those demons, unless.
Well,
I wonder if
They're
demons just happen to show up when they come here.
Well, the highest concentration of demons was near Sealerai, so maybe they're still there.
Well, maybe they'll murder each other and it'll even out.
Wow.
awful.
Ren gives Nenny a blank look.
Yeah, Miss looks at
It
Ren and
was
is
pretty
like,
awful.
yeah. Do you think that they have something to do with the demons spreading? Because I couldn't help but wonder if, oh, demons are showing up and then these people come to save the day, just, by happenstance.
I wasn't really thinking that into it.
Oh, well,
They just sound like assholes.
fair.
I get
Alright,
this
ruins.
feeling like it's destiny that we're gonna meet them and I'm gonna kick their ass.
Yeah, possibly. I'm still wary of elves dealing with demons for a lot of reasons. Anyway, ruins, right?
Yeah.
We want to rest, we want to go there, I'm down for anything.
I mean, I don't really feel like tired or anything, so.
Do they feel tired? How long is...
It's like early evening.
Okay.
Time
Yeah,
to
let's go
explore the
see them.
ruins.
Okay, as you guys get up to leave, you hear the bartender go, "Oh, John, what are you doing? Go back to bed." And you see a young man coming down from upstairs, bandage wrapped around one leg. He's kind of limping a little bit. He says, "I'm just coming down for a drink, sir." And then he looks at you guys and freezes.
Is this guy familiar?
Make a perception check.
I'm also
I mean,
gonna
Mist
make a
remembers a
perception
John that was bothered that sung about them that they never met, but
check. 29.
Okay.
perception, right?
Holy shit.
23.
Okay.
Hey,
Well,
who the fuck is this guy?
the three of you do recognize him.
Oh,
He was one of the kids that was working for the Jays.
Oh
I
shit!
thought we sent them off to Digital.
Yeah. You think a
We
lot of
did.
things.
Yeah, I guess so. Luffy freezes and she looks at the kid and
Yeah,
she's
Miss.
like,
Uh,
"You
he,
still getting into trouble?"
he just kind of, I didn't think I'd see you lot again. Yeah,
Hey,
getting.
you survived.
Ah,
That's
yes.
a good thing.
Yeah.
I figured I'd come home and help out where I can. They're a lot more accepting of us these days. And he looks at the bartender and, you know, beggars can't be choosers.
Ren squints at him and then looks at Nenia.
What was that look for? Guys, hi. What was that look for?
And then looks at Nenia some more.
Wait, did Ren?
Yeah,
Wait,
Ren,
who
Ren
said what?
Ren squinted at John and then looked at Nenia.
Oh, okay.
And it's like pointedly staring at
All
Nenia.
right.
Sorry, who is this person?
We ran
He
into
tried to
him.
kill us once upon a time.
Yeah.
Oh, how is that all?
I promise I won't be doing that again.
I mean, you couldn't if you tried.
Luffy,
Couldn't when I did try.
Luffy thumbs towards the door and she's like, "Do you know anything about the ruins that are a ways away?"
Oh, the old part of the village?
Yeah.
The bartender chimes in and, oh yes, that's the old part of the village. It was when the cliff rose, we kind of had to abandon that.
When did this cliff rise? I know this wasn't always here.
Oh, about a year ago when Silarai fell?
Oh. Do you have any idea what caused it?
No, not really. John says, Eli says that it was the demons that did it.
Fair.
Well, even more reason to check it out then.
Yeah. Is it Mist kind of gestures vaguely, but it's yeah, and she's like, how far does it go? Is it just the village, or does it extend further?
It's not too far. It's just some of the village. The only reason
Well-
it's gone into ruin is because it's at the base of a cliff that, well, there's a path that we carved, but it's not exactly the sort of journey we wish to make often. And it's bordering on the Altoran forest, so it's a bit, dangerous to be so close to the forest, but removed from the rest of the village.
Nothing's been coming from the forest, has it?
As some of the demons have, and John chimes in with, that's where we fought them recently.
Did you fight with the green cloaks?
I joined! I'm part of the Green
Oh.
Cloaks. Real proud of it.
Luffy chimes in.
You
with,
have terrible taste.
Yeah, she's like, "You keep getting recruited into things. By the way, why'd they cut off that one dude's hand?"
Oh, I didn't get recruited, I joined. But, they cut... he broke the law.
What did he steal?
I wasn't told. I just know he broke the law. He stole
Mist
something.
Mist says with telepathy to Lappy, you could just ask him yourself. She sort of grins.
Barkeep. Hey, Alan, what did you steal? And the guy missing a hand looks up. He's haggard and his face is withdrawn, and he barks out a little laugh and stole me a hammer. Just needed it to help fix the roof.
See, I think that's a little extreme. Not the
Yeah.
hammer thing. The
Hand
hand.
for a hammer doesn't really sound like appropriate punishment to me.
John
Yeah,
just
that's-
shrugs and, it's the law. We We carry out the law. It's as simple as that. No one else is doing it.
Yeah, and the law before everything fell was that, like, the elven society could just completely wipe our brains and use us as slaves, but that didn't mean that it was right.
Well, no, that's why we put new laws into place. Fairer laws.
Yeah, precisely. Laffy looks at Ren.
Ren looks at Laffy like she's got this look on her face like people are stupid.
Yeah.
Laffy got that look on her face like she's ready to kick some ass.
So,
Yeah.
So these green, what are they called? Green cloaks, gavels, whichever
Both.
one. Oh, yeah, I don't like them. Let's go talk to their leader and set them straight.
I like that idea.
Oh, okay.
And Ren pops her knuckles.
Ren like pats the guy on the shoulder. You look like a good kid. I'd imagine you'd want to take the next little while off
I mean,
for your own health.
That's the plan. I'm stuck here. Eli's not going to be too happy to see you a lot again.
Eli. What, he's with them too?
He's the one that made them.
Is Eli the guy that
Wasn't he
started
the
the
one
child
that's,
on
yeah.
me?
You can make a history check.
Yeah, Mista's gotta do that too, because that's what I'm thinking. Damn.
No, Miss got this.
Laffy's a little too angry. Mist and Ren. Yeah, that's the name of the guy that led the Jays.
Yeah, Mist
Ren
just...
gets this look on her face like her soul has briefly departed her body and then like and then she turns around. She gives both Mist and Laffy a look.
Yeah,
And
Mist...
is, like, walking out the door.
Wait, what?
Where's
What?
going?
Someone explain this to me, and Laffy follows Ren.
Mist says with telepathy as Laffy's going that it's the guy that did the child recruiting before.
Laffy starts running. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Oh my god.
Alright, it's time to finish what we started.
Yeah, Mist is just like, so you joined him again.
Well, he's got a better cause this time.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Or is it just
fighting demons.
Or is
and-
he using this as a convenient excuse to go on his little power trips that he was going on before?
I can't say. He's been doing nothing but good. The people like him. I can't see why that's a problem.
Like him or are scared of him?
It doesn't seem like fear. I know a thing or two about fear, considering how I grew up. It's not
Okay.
fear.
Well, unfortunately for him, we're probably going to see him again at some point.
Well, I guess it is unfortunate for him. I'm going to stay here. Healing up after
Hope you
all.
get better.
Oh, it's just a sprained ankle. It will get better. I was just slowing him down.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man.
Yeah, so, Ren and Laffy were heading out the door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss just raises a hand to the people she's talking to and tries to catch up with them.
Ren's conjuring her horse.
Laffy's unstabling her pony.
Yeah, Miss is like, so does that mean we're going to see Leroy instead of checking out the ruins? Or...
Ruins will be
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Alright.
can come back. This needs dealing with before it gets any further.
There are like 50 people that apparently willingly joined this guy. What are we going to do about it?
We killed like a giant dragon lich. I'm sure that we can handle 50 people.
And Ren looks back at Mist and is like, I mean, we're on the path to take on the Realmix.
No,
If we
I
can't-
mean that's not what I meant. I'm not saying we can't deal with them, like beat them up. I'm saying, are we going to just beat them up?
I mean, we'll
if-
talk to him first, and then we'll beat him up after.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Miss-
good enough plan to me.
Miss runs a hand through her hair, but she doesn't really say anything.
Nadia is just exasperated coming out of the tavern and hearing the tail end of that. Just,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go unstable her mule.
Ren looks at Laffy and is like, so, can you cast that spell that makes things go faster on horses?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no,
Oh.
what?
Oh no.
Oh no.
I
Oh, no.
unfortunately didn't hear any of that.
Okay.
Oh.
As Ren was saying, can you cast that spell that makes things go faster on horses?
I cut out again!
God.
Yes, I can cast that spell that makes us go faster on horses. And then I'm gonna check to
You can.
see.
It's creatures, I'm pretty sure.
No, I just mean like. I only need to make Nenia and Luffy faster, so that's what she's gonna do.
Okay. You guys, yeah. Bran, do you resummon Stardust?
Yes, he does.
Alright, it is equally as dramatic the second time.
He always rides in style.
Okay, yeah, the skies part. The chorus of neighs comes down as Stardust does too. He
I
touches
hope
down
someone
with
was out seeing this. Just like, what the fuck?
You don't know, but yeah, you definitely hope so. But yeah, Stardust touches down very gently and looks at you, Bran, like twice in the same day.
Bran just
Worse
shrugs.
things to do.
Lots of stuff to do.
And tosses its in and
Bran like pats it. If it makes you feel any better, we're on the good guy's side, probably. We're doing a good thing.
Going to beat some guys up. It's
It's fine. It's fine.
so you guys mount up and where are you which way are you going?
yeah.
I mean, Ren looks
Yeah,
to Laffy to
This is a
lead
good
the
question.
way.
Where are we going?
Mist has no
Luffy's
fucking
gonna say,
idea.
You know what? Ren looks at Laffy and is like, you can track. Find out where.
Yeah, Luffy's gonna see if we can track shit.
Okay, make a nature check.
I can't make survival?
Or yeah, survival. I get the two mixed up.
20.
Okay. You look around the ground and you see the marks of what looks like a large group of individuals heading off to the southwestern side of the village, where you see there's a path that goes down the cliff, but it's about 6 horses wide. So I'm assuming you guys head on down that pathway.
Hell yeah.
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 You guys all head down towards that path. It's a little precipitous as you go down, and it's getting colder as you guys go down, and it takes a solid half hour to 45 minutes to get to the bottom of the cliff. And you look up, and it's like a solid 1,000, 1,500 feet above you. It is rather high. And you look out in front of you, and it is the expanse of the Altoran Forest. You're relatively near those ruins, and this close you can see that they're not like ruined ruins, they're overgrown houses and things like that. There's some that are torn apart, and there is this large fissure in the ground, at the bottom of the cliff that it's very clear where something, and you can imagine it's the landmass that the village is now on, just got ripped up and just rose out of the ground. And yeah, you guys look out into the forest, and you see there's a clearing and a path heading south. And you see those trail marks heading down that way. And you click your horses into motion, and you head on into the dark Altoran forest. It is chilly, and you lose sight of the lights. The sun was setting, and the moon was rising, and as you head into the forest, it is dark, and it takes a little while for the moon to rise fully, and it filters in silver rays through the boughs of the trees. And those of you with dark vision can only still see so much. Nenya, you're kind of being guided by the light of the moon.
Ren uses dark vision herself.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
she's sort of also feeling out with her blind sense.
Okay.
Mist is using Eldritch Sight too. She's looking around for anything moving, but also traces of anything that may have been left behind by things, or I don't know.
There's this wispy trail of magic throughout the air, but it's also weaving through the trees. And kind of seems like it's coming from everywhere, and occasionally you do see these little magical lights flickering through the trees and moving around the branches and the bark.
Do you know what that is? Or is it just
You can make an
this
Arcana
is
check.
the forest? Okay.
Yeah.
Arcana. 38.
You don't know what this is.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would this have always been here? I'm sort of guessing that Mist probably was in the Altoran forest before.
Yeah, it's a
Maybe.
safe bet.
Okay.
I mean, Lothi's been in the forest before, just not in this part of the forest necessarily.
Yeah. So were these here in the spots where she's been before?
No.
Okay. Yeah, Mist sort of is looking at. He's like, this is weird magic in the air. And do you see those little lights floating around? This wasn't here before.
Yeah, you're right.
That's odd. I don't know what it is. Yeah, she's just gonna keep going.
Okay. You guys just keep heading into the woods. The Pegasus actually emits a very gentle nimbus of light. I completely forgot about that. It's kind of pretty and kind of ruins your night vision.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys head on through the forest and you travel for a little while. And since it's a Friday night, that's where we're gonna go ahead and end the session.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mystery.
Yeah. You guys heading into the woods.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
We changed directions so many times.
Yeah, I don't know where you guys wanted to go. But hey, you found a path, you're
We're
taking
going.
it. Yeah, you found a path, you're
The
taking
man
it.
up.
We're getting a chance to, beat up some asshole.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
asshole. Anyway, we'll be back next weekend? Question mark?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't... What time are you leaving?
Sunday. I mean, Sunday at things.
You're going to be a little bit more specific than that.
Okay,
Um,
well, Internet, we'll see you
Sunday
guys later.
sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, Internet.
Bye.
Bye.
Internet.
Bye.